Chargers continue to have solid practice after solid practice as we get ever closer to that first preseason game. We're going to break down some of the latest news and rumors around the team. Plus, we'll even discuss a little bit about what was going on in today's version of training camp practice. Chargers Now is presented by PrizePicks. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I think that there is a lot of positive news for this team in Los Angeles, and it is certainly something that I think Charger fans need to be a lot more excited about. When you look at this team from top to bottom, it feels like everything is coming out in a positive light, positive note. This is a team that has young players that are performing very well. This is a team that has older players that are starting to perform very well, even though we might not see them in preseason early on. It just feels like this is a roster that is, well, complete. Manifest it. Go down below in our comment section and hit the thumbs up button if you want the Chargers to beat the Texans. Look, I understand it is preseason. Look, I understand that these games do not matter when it counts towards the NFL postseason. What does matter, though, is winning for winning's sake. So go in, hit the thumbs up button. You want the Chargers to take care of business. Let's start with the injured crew. There is an injury list that seems to be, I don't want to say getting bigger and bigger by the day, but it is a list of injured players that I am not going to say is sound the alarm bells, but it's worrisome. When you look at the guys who didn't practice on day 11, you got Rashawn Slater, Still, Shelley, Avner, Pipkins, Jefferson, Jackson. That is a ton of players that were not out on the field. Today's practice just got underway. No Slater, no Johnston, and no Still. Those are the big ones there. So you have a lot of guys that are going to play a key role on this team that are not out practicing for a variety of different reasons. Now, some people are going to say, Will, don't freak out. It's August 11th. That is not something that you need to sound every alarm bell in the castle. What I'll say, though, is it is something to be concerned about. This is an opportunity for other players, especially the veterans, to kind of ramp their body up. And if they're not able to be out on the field, yeah, that's not a good thing for this Chargers team. Now, Rashawn Slater and Tarheeb Still, those are obviously going to be your big injured guys. They are players, in my opinion, that don't need every single day of training camp practice. They're veterans. They've been in the league for a little bit. They know what they need to do. But I still think that this is something to keep an eye on, because if we look 2-3 weeks down the road and they're still limited in practice, or they've returned for a little bit, got re-injured, missed some other time here or there, that could impact them at the start of the year. Now, the Chargers do have 2 games that are pretty easy to start the season. Still not ideal. Neither player is expected to play on Thursday. I don't have any real issue with this. They're veteran guys. It's the preseason. You don't need to have guys out on the field. What'll be interesting is how many snaps certain players are going to get. You heard already from Coach Harbaugh that you're going to see 2 quarterbacks out on the field, one getting each half, essentially. First half Lance, second half DJU, or vice versa. But I look at these injured guys, and while they're not going to be on the field on Thursday, that's not going to kill this team, and it certainly isn't going to really impact what is going on when it comes to starters and not starters. But what I do think is important is these are reps that potentially they could have used. Maybe not Slater, but still certainly. Is it too early to worry about injuries? Let us know down below in our comment section. Am I a bit too worried right now about this Chargers injured crew? Or am I someone that you need to say, hey, man, go take a chill pill. It's going to be okay. They're going to be fine. To me, I lean towards yes, that it's too early to worry, but I'm going to ride the fence here and say, I don't think it's too early to be concerned. I think there's a difference between worrying and being concerned. Being concerned is, oh, that might be a problem. Being worried is, this is a problem, right? So I'm concerned. I'm not worried, but I can be convinced of the others. Let's talk about Joe Alt, because he had a fantastic day as he kind of works his way back from the injuries that he suffered last year, as well as, tries to put himself into a position where he's being viewed as one of, if not the top tackles in the National Football League. So we're going to talk about the strong day that he had. But first, I'm going to let you know that today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Today is Taco Tuesday. Throughout the day on Tuesdays, PrizePicks releases multiple discounted player projections called tacos that are marked with a taco icon. These discounted projections make a player's more selection more favorable than the standard projection. Each taco is only available for a limited time before rotating to a new discounted projection, encouraging users to check the app throughout the day. Users can include these discounted picks in any lineup alongside their favorite selections. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Justin Herbert, more on his pass yards. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Rashid Shaheed, more on his receiving yards. New user offer. Best of all, play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. PrizePicks just switched up their offers, so there's no better time to join. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 plus lineup. Mike McDaniel was very adamant and very demonstrative on the sidelines yesterday when he was talking about Joe Alt and the greatness that he had throughout certain practice reps against Khalil Mack. Now, there's a reason why Khalil Mack is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Is he still in the same position that he was before? No, but he's still a really freaking good player in the National Football League. Joe Alt was going toe-to-toe with him, and it really felt like he was handling business. McDaniel has said that Alt has been exceeding expectations, which is very impressive for someone that already has high expectations for his play. As you can see, obviously dealing with some injury issues, it is clear that when Alt is on the field, there are not many, if any, better options than him in the National Football League. And that is a great thing, not just for the Chargers, but for this entire team as a whole. The more and more that I look at what Alt has been doing so far out of camp, so far out of practices, it is clear that not only is he going to return to the form that he had before, but more importantly, and I think more impressively, you are going to see an even better version of Joe Alt. And this Chargers team needs him, and they need him badly to perform in this way. When you look at the tackle positions last year, it was atrocious play by the team, and it really hurt the Chargers. They're lucky they made the postseason. Alt can fix this easily. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss any Chargers news or rumors ever again. Next, let's go to that left guard update because there's going to be a constant rotation there from a multitude of different players. And right now, the general consensus coming out of Chargers camp is that, believe it or not, everyone's still kind of in the running for the spot. There have been 5 guys that have worked there. Kaito Yoshika, you got Taylor, Penning, Pipkins, and of course Slaughter. They have all worked out at that left guard position. According to offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel, this job is still open for essentially everyone, and any one of those guys can go in and get those first team reps. Now, yesterday it was a little bit more of a 3-man rotation between Yoshika, Taylor, and Jake Slaughter. Now, Slaughter was starting to get more and more reps with that first team, and they were talking about how well he was performing, opening holes up for the Chargers running backs. And there were a lot more big plays. Jake Slaughter is someone who I don't want to say has been disappointing, but it's been slow going as he tries to learn a new position, obviously being a center out of Florida, having not played a guard spot. So Jake Slaughter coming in and getting more reps with the first team, doing things the correct way, I do think is a large positive in the direction for this Chargers team. And Chargers fans should be more fired up. Does that mean he's going to win the job? No, it sounds like it's still pretty neck and neck, but I do think it is important that the young fella, the guy who's supposed to be your future, is doing things the correct way. The Chargers want Jake Slaughter to win the left guard job. This is an opinion that I kind of believe in. In their ideal world, the young kid goes and takes it over, and then they have a bunch of quality backups that will be ready to try and play that left guard spot if there were an injury. Let me know if you agree with this sentiment or if you disagree with this sentiment down below in our comment section. We're going to end the show today with some running back news because the running backs for the Los Angeles Chargers certainly seem to be taking a step forward, and we were able to learn exactly what Mike McDaniel plans to do with his running back room. Now, obviously, you have 3 guys in the backfield who have had a lot of reps in the National Football League, and it seems pretty clear that Mike McDaniel plans to use all 3 guys, Hampton, Vidal, and, of course, Mitchell. Essentially, he said, hey, we're going to be rotating these guys. You're not going to know who's going to be the hot hand. It's going to be matchup dependent. There might be a game where it's Amari Hampton that gets 15 carries. The next game, it might be Keaton Mitchell. The next game, it might be Vidal. It just depends on who is getting more big plays that day, who is having more consistent success, and whose running style kind of fits the best way to attack the opposing defense. I think that this is a fantastic thing for the Chargers, but it's also something that we should have expected. Mike McDaniel does not believe in feature backs. Mike McDaniel believes in getting the best players out on the field as soon as possible and making sure that whoever has the most advantageous matchup gets the football the most. That's at the wide receiver position, the tight end position, and the running back position. This is a new style that a lot of people, offensive coordinators at least, are moving towards, and I think it's smart. One, it keeps your guys fresher for longer. We saw the Seahawks rotate between 2 to 3 guys last season, and they all, for the most part, stayed healthy going into the Super Bowl. And I think that the Chargers are trying to build off of that. You've seen this success in many guys who have played in the McDaniel, the Shanahan, McVay systems, and I think that is a great thing for this Chargers team. You got a bunch of guys who can play the running back position, let them go and play that running back position. Hit the thumbs up button if you love the videos that we have here on the channel. If you want more of them, hit that thumbs up button. We will be back tomorrow for a video that we talk about on the day before game day. Plus, if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be back on Thursday. We'll have a preview of that Texans game. And more importantly, you'll be able to hang out with myself and producer Searle because we are going to be live a half hour before the game, and we're going to stay live all the way through the game. So if you want to watch that Chargers-Texans matchup with your friends here at Chargers Now, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and make sure that you're here on Thursday to hang out with us. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. I cannot wait to see you next time. And as always, bolt up.